We got a 12-move Grandmaster game in store for today. That's right, from start to finish, 12 moves. They were Grandmasters. We got Anderson versus Mayette. This was played in the 1860s in Berlin. What's crazy is half the game follows Grandmaster theory, and the other half doesn't. And then loser gets sent to the dentist because they had beef back then. Mayette, he was like, Lee Chess is better. Anderson was like, no, I'm more of a chess.com guy myself. So first 6 games follows mainline Ruy Lopez theory. Last 6 moves, not so much. But yeah, it fascinates me. It's like, how did these guys figure out engine-approved theory that long ago? It's like, you're telling me you figured that out and you didn't have an iPhone? Nah, you must have had an iPhone. It's crazy. You must have been beefing on Twitter. And we're also going to be discussing the Fischer Random results, beef, who we want to win throughout the video. We only got 12 moves, but we get a Spanish, right? Mainline Spanish, as you see in almost all top level games. And you know what fascinates me? Like, okay, yes, people fall into the Scholar's Mate, right? The Scholar's Mate is the 4-move one. But what fascinates me is, like, if I ever play a game of chess with like a friend who doesn't know how to play, it's not out of the realm for them to actually play f6 g5. And this just boggles my mind because they look at this position, they only know the moves. What makes them play f6 g5? Like, I understand you never look at chess or study chess, play chess, but what is so appealing about f6 g5? Like, they know the rules. They have so many different pawns they could push. Do you understand how statistically improbable thinking of those first 2 moves are? Like, maybe they want to open up the most powerful piece, but like, why not? I don't know. It is pretty statistically improbable for it to happen, but it happens semi-often. So knight f3, you know, caveman chess, back to 1860 Berlin. Knight attack pawn, knight defend pawn, bishop attack knight that defends pawn. Caveman chess. And it's still played today, and it's the best. Bishop to c5, pawn c3. So this is good chess. c3 is good chess. We're following a Fabi game and an Anand game from 2022. 2 separate games. One was 2017. But the point of c3 is to break with d4. And that's what the Ruy Lopez, that's what e4, e5 is all about. It's who can go d4, who can go d5 faster. Not the fastest, but faster with it being a good move, right? You could hang a queen in one move if that was the goal of an opening. But make it be a good move. So c3 does prepare d4, and maybe on a6 you'd get a slide back to c2 where d4 would become even stronger against the castled king, right? Kind of top level chess. Also, who do you guys want to win the Fischer Random? Me personally, I want Hans to win. It's quite ironic because I made a video about just not caring about the chess world, chess beef, and it's true. But I saw the Hans clip when he was watching Magnus play. That was hilarious. We need more of that. We need more KOs, more haymakers. You got to send your opponent to the dentist if they beat you, even though they didn't play. But yeah, I want Hans to win. Between Fabi and Aronian, I like Fabi. I want Fabi to win. And then between Fabi and Hans, I'll be happy whoever wins. But he memed. He memed pretty well, and it was fun to watch. You know, it was also fun to watch Magnus slam the pieces. I saw, oh, this is disrespectful. No, chess players are just so in their head. Battle of the acoustics, okay? Let the acoustics be acoustic as they are, and let them show the world how acoustic they are, because it's hilarious. All right, knight to f6. We get bishop takes c6, d takes c6. Why did white do this? Does he want to win the pawn on e5, or is it something different? It's something different. Good boy. You don't want to take these pawns when the kings are still in the center. You will get punished if you do so. What does black do here? Well, he goes bishop to g4, pinning the knight to the queen. Nobody liked pins even way back in the day. 1860. I'm pretty sure there was a couple countries who lagged behind in the creation of en passant. I want to say Italy was like the last country to implement it, and I don't know if it was, I mean, okay, doesn't matter, it's irrelevant, but I wonder if en passant was known around the whole world at the time. That is my question. Pawn to h3, what do you do as black here? Well, Anderson channeled his inner Ding versus Nepo from the World Championship match, except I think it was a knight, but he did this thing where you go h5 and you just go for checkmate. You're like, you can take my bishop, I'll be down material, I'm still gonna win. I'm just gonna win. Just what I'm gonna do. I like playing these lines. I have a Sicilian line where I play it. Ding did it in a World Championship match, which was dubious but fascinating. And what I wonder is if Anderson slid back, what did he not like here? Because this pin, you're still embracing the pin. And if we get pawn g4, I wonder what he would have done. Because like what I'm doing here is I'm snapping this off, right? You learn they don't have a bishop that could slide back. You take that pin. Bar can say whatever it wants to say. Black will win this game. For sure. If I'm playing. Depends who I'm playing. But the computer finds queen d3, which is I wonder if anybody would find this. Like queen d3, yes, it makes sense. You immobilize the queen side. It's very principled. But then is anybody finding the follow-up g5? Like from a distance? Like on, if this is in front of you, okay, sure, g5. But from queen d3, g5, it's a very peculiar idea just to break open the king side. I don't know about that one. I do not know about that one, boss. But h5, I know about that one. I like that one. Don't take that. He takes. Would you be a world champion in the 1800s? There's going to be a lot of tactics missed and a lot of tactics found. And some tactics found aren't the best tactics found. So wake up your tactical mind because it's about to get tactical. It's move 8. There's only 5 more moves left. 5 for black, 4 for white. 4 for black. H takes g4, open rook file. We will be using that file, so stay tuned. All right, so pawn attacks knight. What now? What now? Why is it balanced? The only move to keep the game in the balance is pawn to d4. The game is anything but balanced in simplistic form, but it's balanced. So, black could not get away with taking the knight because this leads to white being in a winning position, so he would need to take the pawn. And it's not so simple. But white has to play queen e2 here. If you just take the bishop, you are losing the game. Why? Find the tactic. Pause the video. Rook to h1, did you find it? Odds are you might have found it and then messed up the continuation because you might be like, oh, I'm a genius. I get it. Chronological order. That's the difference of many chess players. You have to take on f2 first to deflect the rook away from the queen so that you win the queen for free. And if the king goes, it was a fork, so you pick up the queen for free regardless. But we did not get d4. We got knight takes c5. He's like, I don't want my knight to get taken. I'm going to save my knight. So he blundered, and then Anderson blunders right back. Find the win here for black. The win is knight takes e4. The rook cannot move for a multitude of reasons. A multitude of reasons. One being queen h4 is just checkmate. You might, I don't know what he missed. Maybe he didn't like this, but that just doesn't make too much sense because you got to be looking for tactics like this. Right? Rook h1 is the thematic forward movement of playing h5, hanging the bishop on g4. Not hanging, but sacking, I guess we could say. So knight takes e5. He goes g3. And as you can see, the bar goes from winning to losing. Why? Now it's white's turn to mess up again, but he doesn't quite mess up just yet. He finds the best move, striking in the center, cutting off the bishop's vision from the king. So what do you play as black? Well, of course you take on e4. Of course you take on e4, and what does white do? White has to go fg3 here. I don't know what he didn't like about it. Maybe he didn't like this. He was like, okay, I mean, I have a fork. Even though the fork loses to rook h1, so study your tactics. You might be like, I don't get it. He's going to win my queen. No, there is a switch, so he is not going to win your queen. Maybe I should have gone slower there. So rook t1 would have to be played. And then, yeah, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy, but it's not so difficult. So take that as you will. He didn't do it. He went queen g4, losing the game. Find a better tactic than Anderson found here. He played the second best move, which is bishop d4. The best move was this. Rook takes. Rook had to take. And what's the theme? Rook to h1. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but this is beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. You know, this is average looking stuff. You know, it's not so pretty, not so ugly. It's a move. Bishop takes d4. And white had to go knight d3 for the game to go on a little longer. But Mayet, being the nice guy that he was, the guy defending elite chess at the time, he had an iPhone, he had Insta, he had Twitter, he was beefing, he was an online warrior, a cyber warrior. What do they call those people? He was like, Balkan Dad's gonna want to make a video in a little over a century on me, so I'm just gonna lose the game in 2 moves. I'm just gonna take the knight. so Balkan Dad can make a video. We get this, and Mayette resigns. Why did he resign? Well, the king can't move, as courtesy of the rook on the h file, so we would get this, and it turns into a chess.com tactic. Queen to d1, queen e1, here, here, don't take the rook, go here. Rook h1 was really the theme of the game. Did you enjoy the game? Have you seen the game? It's a 12-move Grandmaster game. Who do you want to win the Fischer Random? I got Neiman. I want Neiman, rather. But I won't be sad if Fabi wins either. Thank you, as always, for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.